Hey, it's Jay, and welcome back to MCU Reviewed. This is issue number 8, where we'll be taking a look at the 5th episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is a very long episode, and there's a lot to take in, so I apologize if there's any cuts. There's a lot to take in, so I gotta really reference my notes to make sure I don't lose my place as to what's going on in this episode. So, let's get started. So obviously we're going to pick up right where the last episode left off, when John Walker publicly executes Nico, one of the Flag Smashers. And he kind of just runs away from the scene, still with the death of Lamar and the death of Nico fresh in his mind. He is confronted by Sam and Bucky, who demand he give the shield back. Of course, he refuses because, he's, obviously, as you can tell, he's deranged at this point. And a fight ensues between the two of them. And Walker does hold his own against the two of them. And he, in his deranged state, he just keeps, being adamant about the fact that he is Captain America. And he pins Bucky pretty good and actually rips the wings off of Sam's X-07 wings. And just as he thinks he has the upper hand, he's actually about to kill Sam again with the shield. Bucky is able to stop him. Sam uses the jetpack that's still attached to his wings to hold him steady in place to steal the shield, and they break his arm and leave him there taking the shield. The GRC then try to find Carly Morgenthau raiding any Flag Smasher hideouts, only to find her followers, but no Carly. Wilson, Sam, reunites with Torres, and he tells him that the government is now going to be looking into Walker's actions, and that Carly's definitely going to be laying low after Nico's murder. So it looks like, everything's just going wrong now, because now this symbol is belonging to a murderer, and Carly is going to be impossible to find. So we can already encounter huge problems right off the bat in this episode, and I think it's a really impactful and emotional way to start this episode off. So obviously, Walker is sentenced to a trial, and he appears, and they basically strip him of the mantle of Captain America. They discharge him from the military and take away all his benefits. And despite John's protests, they're like, given the circumstances, this is generous, and you should be taking this as such. And Walker's obviously more and more unstable by the second, so his wife Olivia tries to calm him by this, and they are approached by this mysterious woman whose name is very long, I can't remember. It is Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. And she just kind of shows up out of nowhere and is like, look, I know that you're being shunned by the people who made you, but I agree with you. I agree that you took the serum. I agree that you killed Nico. I mean, he killed your partner. And she gives him this card that literally is blank to tell him to contact her. So I don't know who this person is, but I've seen some theories online that I'll get to in a bit on who this person might be, because it's a very random appearance from somebody we literally have never ever met before, and she puts herself here as if we've known her all along, and it's very strange. But again, I'll get to what I think about that in a second. So Carly is wandering around an abandoned GRC camp and is furious about all that has happened, all about the death of Nico, and how all her plans are they're failing, and people still don't see what their mission is. I mean, she's very frustrated by that, and she gathers her troops and is like, we need to make this attack happen now. And so they increase their efforts to get to their goal quicker than they were before. Cut to Sokovia, where Zemo is at a memorial, most likely for his family, and Bucky comes to confront him with a loaded gun. And Zemo pretty much tells Bucky, I see, Sam just won't see the way that you and I see it. Carly can't be reasoned with. She needs to be killed to stop all this from happening. Bucky then goes to kill Zemo, only to reveal that the gun was actually unloaded the whole time, and it was just a trap to get the Dora Milaje involved to take Zemo back to Wakanda. Io is like, look, I understand why you had to do it, but I'd say maybe don't set foot in Wakanda for a bit, because you were kind of responsible for letting this guy out. Bucky agrees and asks for a small favor of Io, but we'll find out what that is later on in the episode. So Zemo is now back in the hands of the Dora Milaje for killing their King T'Chaka. So Sam goes back to Baltimore to see if he could try to talk to Isaiah Bradley even more about what happened during the Korean War. And Bradley sees the shield and he's like, alright, here's how it went down. Basically, he himself and a bunch of other black soldiers were falsely told that they were doing one thing only to be experimented on with some super soldier serums, even though they were shown to be unstable in the past. And when they would just get imprisoned, they were, they got imprisoned, so Isaiah goes to free them, right? And that's why he gets the status of being a criminal. And he gets locked up and tested on even more because of the super soldier serum. And his wife, who's dying, tries to send him letters every day, and they stop them from getting to him. A nurse, it actually gets so bad that a nurse ends up feeling so sorry for him that she pronounces him dead so he's able to escape. Because now he's not a legitimate person anymore, and she gives him all his wife's letters and everything like that. So now Isaiah is very bitter with the world, and I don't blame him for that. And he pretty much tells Sam that any non-blind black man wouldn't take that shield. He would, throw it away at any second. He just is under the assumption that America would never accept a black Captain America. And Sam's like, no, that's not true. We need to get you out there, get your story told. And he's like, he's too afraid that if people find out he's not dead, the same people who put him through that hell would put him through it again if he was actually found out to not be dead. And so he doesn't trust anybody anymore. And I don't blame him. But, Sam tried. And I think he now realizes that he really needs to take on this mantle of being Captain America. But for right now, he calls his sister Sarah, and he heads back home to see what they can do about this boat. So Sam is talking to his nephews, and they reveal that Sarah couldn't sell the boat because the monetary value just wasn't there. And Sam is still so determined to get this boat fixed up that he calls all the members of the Delacroix community whom their parents did them favors. And it's as if, you got to pay that favor back. And the entire community comes together to try to fix this boat up, including Bucky, who shows up to do all the heavy lifting because, Bucky's a super soldier. He gives Sam that favor that Io gave him. We don't know what it is yet. And, again, helps with the fix-up. However, Torres gives Sam a battle strategy on how they could possibly defeat Morgenthau, and Bucky, reiterates to Sam what Zemo was talking about. How it's like, I think we're way beyond reasoning. I know we didn't let Walker... Walker tried to tell us that we didn't listen, but I think now we're way beyond reasoning. She needs to be stopped. And if it means that bloodier method, we might have to take that step as much as we don't want to. Sam wants Bucky to stay with him in Louisiana, but Bucky's got a flight to fly back to where he was from originally in the first episode. And Sarah kind of relieves them of their duties to working on the boat. And Sam starts his training to become the next Captain America. So Walker goes to meet with Hoskins' parents and tells them all that happened that day and just tells the biggest bald-faced lie to them that he took out the person who was responsible for killing Lamar, which was Nico, which isn't true. We all know that's not true. And his parents are Lamar's parents are very happy and thankful for that. And as Walker's walking down the street, he sees his Cap is Back poster, and I feel like a lot of questions are filling his mind. And, cut to a small scene in Madripoor, and Sharon Carter is offering Georges Batroc a job. We don't know what that's for, but Sharon's getting a little sketchy at this point, at least to me. Cut back, and Sam and Bucky are throwing around the shield, practicing, trying to get better at it, and Bucky apologizes for his attitude towards Sam giving the shield away, and just pretty much saying that, I know, the shield means a lot. It showed, it's the closest thing I have to family left, because, Bucky was born in the 40s. I mean, in 1917. So anybody who he had any experiences with are all dead, including Steve, who was his one lasting friend from that time period. So he just really felt that shield was like a piece of home that now he doesn't have anymore, or wouldn't have had if Walker decided to keep the shield. And they both apologize, and Sam also offers Bucky some advice and says, don't just try to apologize to these people. Use them to get to where you want to be. Clear of the Winter Soldier moniker. And instead of just going up to them and being like, sorry, actually try and get to a personal connection with them. And it was a really great scene between the two of them. And Sam continues to, get more physical. Do more acrobatics like Steve could do. Try to get his endurance up, his strength up. just to try to at least get somewhat close to where Steve was physically to become this new Captain America, because they're going to need every ounce of energy that they need to take on these Flag Smashers. So Bucky leaves, and he tells Sam to call him if they get any leads on Morgenthau. And it's revealed that Carly actually beat Sharon to the punch, maybe, and they have Batroc and the LAF on their side now, because Batroc wants revenge on Sam. And just as the GRC are about to pass the Patch Act, which would relocate a bunch of refugees in the United States back to where they came from, the Flag Smashers begin their attack by causing a massive hack that shuts down the GRC, and they're ready to start this war. Torres informs Sam that it's getting ready to go, and Sam opens up the case of the favor that Io gave him. We don't see what it is, and the episode ends. And this episode does actually have a mid-credit scene, and it is John Walker melting down all of his army medals into a new shield. So we'll have to see how this goes in the finale. But that was the 5th episode of Falcon Winter Soldier, and this one was very emotional. Sorry about the cut there, a little glitch in the camera. But, as I was saying, this episode is extremely, extremely emotional from start to finish. Whether it be the fight with Walker and Sam and Bucky, or just the talking with Isaiah, a lot of relationship building. It's a lot of emotional stuff. Like, you see Walker, and even though he's way out of line in his actions, I kind of feel for him. Not too much, but I do kind of feel for him, because you're taking on the mantle of Captain America. That's a big responsibility. And to want that power so bad that you would take this serum that you don't know what it's going to do to you, whether it's going to alter your personality or anything like that, and then actually commit this heinous act of murder with this shield, it's a lot. And to be stripped of all those medals and honors and awards, it's got to hurt. It's got to, really break a person who's already being broken. It's got to break them down even more. So I kind of feel bad for Walker in this scenario. And I also think that Isaiah's connection to Sam in terms of getting him to train is really brilliantly well done. Really brilliantly well done. Nice one, Jason. But, Sam kind of tries to convince, Isaiah that, no, that's not how things are. But, Isaiah, understandably so, just doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't believe that there's any good left in the country after what they did to him. Which, if I was experimented on and pretty much a prisoner of war just for doing what I thought was right and not being able to be contacted by my loved ones or anything, I wouldn't really trust, the system either. But I think that Sam really thinks that Isaiah's reputation needs to be upheld, and that's why he's adamant now about taking on this mantle. I think that the gift from Io, the favor from Io, are going to be wings with the Captain America colors on them, because that's the way it was in the comics. So I'm pretty sure that's probably what it is. I could be wrong, but I don't know. And they did a great job with Sharon, because I think a lot of people think that Sharon is the power broker. And if she is, that would be a crazy twist. But if she isn't, they did a great job making us think that she is. With the whole her calling Batroc to offer him a job, only to have Carly offer him a job too, and him take it. Now, was that Sharon telling Batroc to join the Flag Smashers? Or was that Sharon trying to get to Batroc before the Flag Smashers? I don't know. But they did a great job, making you question that, as I did when I watched the episode. But back to the Val person. She wants to be called Val. And she's, again, she just kind of shows up out of nowhere, right? And we don't know who this person is, but it's been rumored that she's supposed to be in Black Widow. And since COVID happened and, Marvel's release schedule got all out of whack, we didn't get to see Black Widow before Falcon and Winter Soldier. So a lot of people think that that's why her appearance is just so sudden and out of nowhere. And it's only because she was supposed to be in Black Widow. Now, what is she up to? I feel like she's giving this card to Walker because she's trying to form her own super squad of maybe like the Dark Avengers, Maybe she tries to get Taskmaster involved. Who knows? We need to watch Black Widow first. But it was just a very strange inclusion to me. So it's very interesting that she might be in Black Widow. So we'll have to find out in July when it comes out. But I can't wait to see how this fight takes on, because now you have the Flag Smashers with the entire LAF on their side. What is their army going to be? You know, you had a Endgames fight where everybody and their mother was involved in this fight, and you have WandaVision, where you have Vision, Wanda, and two superpowered kids, including Monica Rambeau, and Darcy. But what is the battle going to be here? You got Sam, Bucky, Torres. I guess the GRC are going to be fighting. I have no idea, but maybe the Wakandans will come in. That would be cool. But I have no idea what's going to happen. This is going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy finale. But on top of all the emotional stuff, Sam and Bucky really are growing to be partners. I know that they still bicker and banter when Bucky's leaving, but just with Bucky helping Sam try to get this boat fixed, and both of them finally speaking about their ill feelings toward one another, with Bucky being like, I apologize for freaking out on you about the shield, and Sam being like, look, don't just apologize to these people. Make connections. Don't go up to them, have a half-assed apology, and then walk away and cross their name off in your book. No, connect with them. Make friendships. That'll really get you in the right direction to wiping the Winter Soldier from you entirely. Because I know you're still having these nightmares, and that might help eliminate them from your subconscious for good. So it's really great to see them connecting on that level. And the scene I really want to talk about is Walker fucking lying right to Hoskins' parents' face, and being able to still look at himself proudly as Captain America, when he builds that shield later on. It just, that scene, I was so mad that whole time. It's like, you lying sack of shit. Nico had nothing to do with the death of Hoskins. He was just holding you back because you're now unstable. It was Carly who dealt the blow. I'm not saying you should have killed Carly, but don't go up to his parents and say that you did the almighty savior act and took out the person who killed their son. That was bullshit. And I think that was really showing that Walker is... I know I say it a lot in this review, but he's gone. He's not John Walker anymore. And just the fact that he's building the shield and almost in like a zombie state being like, I am Captain America. His brain's in a blender right now. And I really hope Walker returns in future projects. I know he will. I hope he will. Because even as much as we hate him, it's a good character. They did a great job writing this guy to make him unlikable. And I think that was the whole purpose, because he's taking up a character that we've been invested in for 10 years now. So I think they did a great job making him very unlikable and having staying power, because I want that to happen. I want Walker to show up in some way, shape, or form. I also appreciate Zemo's closure in this episode. I don't know if he'll be in the finale. I'm hoping he is, because, it's Zemo. And just the way he was like, I understand why you gotta do this, and I respect you for it, and I'm not gonna kill you either, because that's another big thing. Zemo's like, I'm not going to kill you, Bucky. Because in the last episode, Sam's like, if you want to kill Super Soldier so bad, why haven't you killed Bucky yet? And I think that was Zemo's plan, but he just decided not to. I think due to respect out of Bucky's mission and how he handled it. But a lot of great stuff in this episode. Really check it out. I don't want to harp too much on it, because it is an emotional roller coaster, whether it be the fight, or Isaiah, or their relationship, or the boat. And just that community coming together, that was really special too. Just seeing all these people coming for one common goal, and that is to help the Wilsons out and just get them back on track with this business that has been with their families for eons. So I think that was really special too. So definitely check it out, and look forward to the Falcon Winter Soldier finale coming this Friday. And also, I forgot to mention, as of today, the Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings trailer has dropped. So definitely go check that out. I'll link it in the description. It looks phenomenal. I've always been intrigued by Shang-Chi ever since there were rumors floating around about it. And now finally seeing footage of it gets me even more hyped. I cannot wait for September. And the only thing I have to say before we go, Ben Kingsley better have a cameo. But make sure you guys stay tuned for next week. I won't be able to make any more videos this week. I have a pretty busy schedule coming towards the end of the week. So next week, videos will pick up again with the finale of Falcon Winter Soldier, more Star Wars Chronicle, or any movies that might come out in that time frame. But make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really helps me out. And until next time, everybody, that's a wrap.